What's up and peace to the family. This is a spontaneous stream. Um, this is a spontaneous stream. I wanted to get into. I wanted to have this conversation because of the simple fact that it's a lot of myths and about plant protein versus animal protein. And with me being vegan, I feel as if I got to address this situation. First and foremost, welcome to my platform. This is platform Crypto and Travel, where I traditionally talk about everything crypto and everything travel. But today I'm gonna take a break from that. And so if you drop by this video, take the time to like and subscribe to this channel, especially if you're interested in cryptocurrency and travel. That's basically what I talk about. But yeah, this has to be addressed in our community. I feel like, and so I figured I'd take it upon myself and drop some real knowledge about the facts when it comes to consuming animal protein versus plant protein. And as y'all drop by, hit the chat up and let me know what the if the audio and what the video actually look like, to let me know that I'm loud and I'm clear. So just hit up the chat when y'all jump through. And remember, if you breeze through this, just like and subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it in a second. I'm not doing any screen sharing today. It's just gonna be me giving it to you live and giving it to you raw, the facts about animal protein and plant protein. I'm vegan, by the way. So, and I've been catching slack. I've been catching slack from a lot of meat eaters about I'm not getting this in my protein. I'm not getting this by eating a plant-based diet. I'm not getting protein. I'm not getting your iron. So I'm gonna break down some facts today. You will not shut me up today. While we get into, I'm having this conversation amongst each other, and I tend to get overshadowed because I'm the only vegan. I'm the only person that has a plant-based diet. So, but I tell you what, you will not mute this message because you about to get some facts today. And I challenge anyone who come across this live stream today to jump into the chat. If you got something you want to add, jump into the chat because I'm ready to drop some real facts here in a few minutes about plant protein versus animal protein, plant iron versus animal iron. I'm about to drop some real facts. So y'all sit back and relax and catch this information that I'm about to drop. So, but yeah, we gotta straighten this up in our community, man, because I say wealth is health. Wealth is health. A lot of people say health is wealth. I like to say wealth is health. You gotta you obtain all your wealth through your health. So if your health goes out the window, you can pretty much throw everything else out of the window right behind it. So I'm gonna go live in a few minutes. I'm gonna give it a little time to see if anybody will jump on into the stream. If not, this video will be saved onto YouTube, so you can catch this information at any time. I'll probably be live about an hour because I got some things that I gotta get off my chest because I'm tired of you meat eaters. I'm tired of you meat eaters coming for me as if I'm not getting all my sustenance and all my vitamins and what I need from my plant-based diet. So yeah, y'all jump in the chat. Don't forget to jump in the chat, like and subscribe, share this video. You're gonna want to share this video because I'm about to go in. I'm about to go in a little bit. So share this video and hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. All in between because I'm finna go in. I'm going live and I'm about to get into this information. So yeah, that's how we're gonna do this. And as the sun sets behind me, I might have to add a little lighting for myself, but I wanted to catch this last little sun rays that I got, and let me know what the video looks like, if you can, if it looks, clear, or do I need to change lighting situations and whatnot. So But yeah, all you meat eaters, y'all want to hear this. Y'all want to hear this. If you're consuming meat, if you're using meat to get your source of protein, your source of iron, you really want to stay tuned. You really want to tune into this information that I'm about to give out, that I'm about to go live with right now. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it just about another minute or two. I would play some music in the background, but YouTube, I could if I had to use my streaming software, but I wanted to have this up close and personal interaction today. I didn't want to share my screen and none of that. I just wanted to spit this raw information. So yeah, if you drop by this video during any time of it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, because this is the platform of crypto and travel, where I talk about cryptocurrencies, give the latest updates on different cryptocurrencies, teach people how to invest in cryptocurrencies and all that good stuff. And I'm also talking about travel. I trade cryptocurrencies for a living, and I take profits and I travel with it. So that's why this platform is called Crypto and Travel. But as I stated before, I'm taking a break from all that today because I want to address this in the community about the truth about plant and animal protein. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started real quick. But yeah, we got people, you got brothers out here in the community speaking on this information with no legitimized information about the matter at hand. And people like myself, who's been doing this study for years. I've been vegan for 4 years, and the meat eaters, I don't think they should be trusted with this information. I've done studies on both sides of the ball. So what the first point of contention is, where are you getting your protein from? Well, understand this. When it comes to meat has protein and plant has protein. Meat has insulin growth-like factors. Insulin-like growth factors 1. IGF-1. That's what meat has. Insulin-like growth factor 1. Insulin-like growth factor 1. That's very important. All right. This is what you're getting when you consume animal protein. And with the insulin-like growth factor, what that does is, amongst many other number of atrocious things, insulin-like growth factor causes the blood glucose level to decline. So what we're talking about is promoting diabetes. But they tell you got to eat meat, and particularly chicken. They tell you got to eat chicken because it's high in protein. But they don't tell you that when you eat the chicken, when you use the chicken for protein, that you're also getting what? Uric acid and ammonia. It's the facts. This is also going to promote arthritis and a whole bunch of other bone and joint disorders. All right. So what is the IGF-1? These are things that are not taught in school. So if someone outside of the school system tells it to you, it tends to be a discomplexion, and people have the tendency to believe that we don't know what we're talking about. So another thing is, when you're looking at plants, plant protein is more complete. Plant protein has the non-essential amino acids that you need. Animal protein doesn't have the non-essential amino acids that you need. It's incomplete. And not only that it's incomplete, you're getting some of those amino acids in excess. And not only are you getting some of those amino acids in excess, what's happening is this. Animal protein is high in sulfur containing amino acids. So not only are you not getting the complete amount of amino acids, you are getting a compromised rendition of the same. So on one level, plants are giving you nine major amino acids. Animal protein is not giving you all that. Secondly, the animal protein is high, okay, in what? Insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1, which causes a declination in your glucose blood levels, in your glucose blood level. And this clearly promotes diabetes. All right. And so keep in mind, insulin, when you think of hormones, when you think of diabetes, diabetes is a hormonal disorder. So hormones give instructions. So diabetes is a hormonal disorder. It gives your body instructions on how to deal with blood sugar called glucose. It gives your body's instruction to give your cells instructions that they need to open up their cell wall so the blood sugar can go in so it can metabolize properly. Without the insulin, your body ability to metabolize is compromised or create change for the sake of energy. That's what I'm going to say right now. But again, I'm going to go through protein and iron. That's what we're going to do. So for one, I want you to look up this information so you can see what I'm saying. When you get too much of this IGF-1, this insulin-like growth factor, it promotes cancer, okay? Amongst many of other things. Secondly, if we're going to talk about protein in plants versus protein in animals, and the protein in animals is not complete in the case of plants when you get 9 of the major essential amino acids. But who cares? If you haven't learned this information, you really don't care. Where they tell you to get your protein from, with chicken being the most popular, they tell you, hey, eat the chicken for the protein, but they don't tell you in order to eat the chicken for the protein, you have to take in ammonia and uric acid. Also, you need to understand that animal protein is high in sulfur-containing amino acid. So what your body has to do to buffer the acidity of the sulfur-containing amino acids is to leach. It's a process called leaching where your body leaches calcium off your bones to buffer the acidity that you're taking in from the sulfur-containing amino acids from the meat. Because what that does, it makes your body more vulnerable and susceptible to a lot of diseases. Because once your body becomes a playground for acid, it becomes a playground for parasites, viruses. So what your body has to do, it has to leach the calcium from the bones to buffer the acidity that came from the sulfur-containing amino acid that came from the animal protein, from the milk. This is also going to promote diabetes. And then the excess calcium has to be stored in the kidneys. And so now you have this extra calcium deposits, which creates stones. So now you got kidney stones. All right. Also, because you are leaching calcium off of the bones, because you are leaching the calcium off of your bones, guess what happens? When you leach calcium off the bones, you are compromising bone density. So the next thing that happens is osteoporosis, particularly in women, because when women are on their cycle, they are losing calcium from month to month, and then they're also consuming meat that is high in sulfur-containing amino acid. That is loss in calcium is twofold. And this loss of calcium is twofold. And now once she has osteoporosis, next thing that goes is a loss of hearing. It's called bone conduction loss of hearing. It's called bone conduction loss of hearing. You can look this stuff up. But you can continue to get your source of protein from animals if you choose. Next conversation, iron and plants versus iron and plants versus iron from animals. Let's do it like this. Iron in animals is called heme iron. They don't teach you that in school. It's called heme iron. All right. Mostly found in the muscles. So you got heme iron, and then you got iron that's in plants. Dark green leafy vegetables called iron fluorine. This is very important because, for one thing, your pineal gland is magnetized to fluoride. So what happens is iron fluorine normally covalently bonded, and so the fluoride brings the iron to the pineal gland. the iron hits the pineal gland and it helps the pineal gland do its job. When you take in heme iron from animals, you don't get that composite of iron and fluoride. You just wind up getting fluoride. All right. And too much fluoride creates too many deposits in the pineal gland, and it creates phosphate crystals, which causes your pineal gland to be calcified. Now it's hard for you to sleep. You'll be doing a lot of snoring because when your pineal gland is calcified, the ability to produce melatonin that helps you rest, keeps your skin clear, keeps you intuitive, it goes on decline because your pineal gland is calcified. Your ability to lucidly dream goes on decline. You don't have the ability to remember your dreams, and you wake up every day, and this is normal to the average person because insanity and sickness has been normalized. These are facts. So what happens is iron and fluorine from dark green leafy vegetables is the type of iron that you actually want. You don't want, but you don't want the heme iron. I said, these are facts. You can look this information up. If you, like I said, if you come by the channel, hit the like, hit the subscribe, because I'm gonna continue dropping this hot topic, these hot facts. Let's hit the like, subscribe. When you come through, hit the like and subscribe button if you come through. So that's how we're gonna deal with this today. We're gonna drop these facts about the animal protein and the plant protein. The plant protein is more complete. You get your non-essential amino acids. The animal protein is not. When you use meat as your source of protein, you're also gonna have to take in the sulfur-containing amino acids that come with meat. And then what that does, it promotes an environment inside of your body that's very acidic. And your body then has to leach the calcium off of your bones in order to buffer the acidity that's in your body. And when your body is very acidic, it becomes a playground for parasites, viruses, and diseases. And so, and when you are getting your calcium from a milk protein, from the protein in milk, so you got two things going on. You are intaking the calcium from milk, but then your body has to leach the calcium from your bones. And so now you got kidney stones because you get stones in your kidneys. And so the tricky part is when you go to the store, you look at water, right? And you see the water that says has fluoride and this water doesn't have fluoride, right? Being an unexpected consumer, you're going to get the one with fluoride because it's tricky like that. So when it comes to plants, when they say the plants doesn't have this, it makes you feel like that, well, I got to get it from over there. But the problem is that the protein that's in it, that the protein that's in the animal has the IGF-1, the insulin-like growth factor 1. So when you intake in animal protein, it's accompanied by a lot of clauses that they don't tell you. So one, you're supposed to get 9 amino acids when you're attempting to consume protein. Plants have those 9 essential amino acids. Animal protein doesn't have those 9 amino acids, so it's incomplete. But what it does have when you take in animal protein, it has the IGF-1. And insulin, again, it's the instructions. They give instructions. So when you take in IGF-1, it's giving your body instructions to get bigger than you're supposed to. And so then what happens is when you eat plants, say if you eat a bunch of greens, you get to a point where it's like you either want to throw up or you're like, man, this is enough. I done had enough of these greens. That's on purpose because the plants are telling you that you've hit your sugar limit or you've hit your protein limit or you've hit your iron limit. When you take iron from animals, heme iron, and when you take protein from animals, their protein and iron doesn't let you know you had enough. And so you can get too much of the insulin-like growth factor, or you can get too much of the heme iron that's in animals. And when you don't know you're taking in too much of the iron and it's in the excess amount, and the excess amount tilts the scale and onsets stroke. When you have too much animal iron in general. Yeah. And we always wonder here, that brother was so young, he's having a stroke. This is why. Because a lot of times With plants, you can only eat so much dark green leafy vegetables before you get the feeling like, that's enough. You can eat a bunch of string beans and some kale, right? And there'll be a point where you'll leave the rest on a plate like I had enough, because it's telling you that you got the optimal amount. That doesn't happen from animals, because our body isn't compatible with the ideal. It's incompatible with the ideal. So you would just keep eating and never stop. And then people that's transitioning, they like to eat eggs and fish, transitioning coming out of meat. But if you do the fish, and particularly as a woman, you don't want to do too much of the tuna and the salmon, because that's a fatty fish, and that those fatty fishes hide estrogen, and it sets off fibroids. And when the estrogen level is too high for females, you get fibroids. So it's really the food that we be eating. And then they give you medicine to treat you, but not cure you, because the cure is in just changing the diet for the most part. That's the number one thing that we can do. For the body to do what it does. But it's hard for the body to combat something that you're endorsing or promoting. Like if I run a and I tell you that we have to stop sexualizing women, but at the same rate on the same channel, I'm constantly showing you naked women at the same time. It's a conflict of interest. So in the body, it won't to be healthy, but then we take in the medicine. We'll take the medicine, but they won't tell you to change the food, which is causing the problem in the first place. So it's a contradiction. So it's like, okay, this medicine is going to make the pain subside for a little bit of time, right? And then I'm gonna go back to the pain. But if I got rid of the crisis that's created the event, then the body can be like, oh yeah, okay, we see clearly that this person is giving me the opportunity to heal myself. It's not so much that the body doesn't have the ability to do what we want it to do for healing, is that we're in the way of it, because we're constantly doing the things that put us in those situations. And then we compound interest with medicine. So that's why it's always important when people go into debating about plant protein and animal protein and plant iron and animal iron. The first thing is, when they have that debate, the first thing you say is, what's the name of the iron that we get from animals, and what's the name of the protein that we get from animals? And then what's the name of the protein that we're getting from plants, and what's the name of the iron that we're getting from plants? If they don't have the answer to that, then they really don't know what they're talking about, because the name tells us what's going wrong. If you say heme iron and you say iron fluorine is in dark green leafy vegetables, and heme iron is in meat, that means, oh man, you must know something. If you know those two words, then you know I need to stop eating that. I need to stop using animal as a source for protein and as a source for iron, because one, I eat it in excess and never know. If you take animal protein, even from milk, it's animal protein is in it. So if you take animal protein, that the amino acids, because when protein is broken down, the digestive system turns it into amino acids. The amino acids that's in animals contain sulfur, and that causes the body's pH or potential hydrogen to become acidic. So what the body has to do to stop all this excess acidity is leach or take calcium from your bones to balance out the pH. But now you're sacrificing your bone integrity, because you're eating things that's causing things to be acidic, to be acidity level in your body. And now your body has to figure out a way to dump all this extra calcium that is using to buffer or polarizing the experience from the sulfur-containing amino acids. See, if I take protein from a plant, I'm getting my 9 amino acids, and I don't have to worry about my body ripping calcium from my bones. So, and what happens, you can tell if you're calcium deficient just by looking at your fingernails, because you'll have these circles right here by your cuticles. You'll see crescent shapes by the cuticles of your fingers. So if it's, like the little white half moon, you have your nail, you can't see it with nail polish. Right here at your nail bed, if it's oval shaped and white right here, that's your body telling you that you are low in calcium. And most of the time when women are on their cycles, that's the time where they'll see it. They'll see those crescent shapes right by their fingernails, and that tell you that's your body telling you need to get more calcium. But the problem is, you may be getting a lot of calcium, but it may be your source of calcium that's causing you the problems. because your source of calcium comes with compromise, which demands that you keep taking in more calcium. Because if you're getting calcium from food that's also acidic, then your body has to take in the same calcium that it took in, plus the calcium from your bones to buffer it, to try to get rid of it. And then also when we take milk, and we say milk is high in calcium, right? But the ratio of calcium has to be 1:1 to magnesium. If that's done, and that's done that way, so you don't have to be subject to too much acidity, right? Because calcium by itself is just not good for the bones. It has to be accompanied by magnesium, vitamin D, and we know vitamins are produced from what? Sun exposure. If it's in a pill, it's not alive, and it doesn't biologically. It doesn't come from a source that biologically embeds like light does, because light is nutrition. Sunlight is nutrition, but most of us have the type of lifestyle that demands that we are at work when the light is out, and when we're off from work, the light is gone. So we have to get supplements to supplant the lack of sunlight activity. So we take vitamins, we look at the word vita or vitality, right? And then you look at the word Amen, which is the sun god of Egypt. They call him Amen Ra. So we see vitality from sun. So we get our substance or our vitality from the sun. So whenever the sun comes into contact with our skin, it produces vitamins naturally. Facts. Share this video. This is where you share the video. This is where you share the video. I told you I'm coming heavy. I told you I'm coming heavy. So when people talk about what they should eat or what they should have in their diet, the first thing I say is sun and air and water. So, but what type of water are we drinking, right? Because is it alkaline, but not only alkaline, but was it turned into alkaline water, or was it naturally alkaline? So it's important to read the what's the bottle of water? Eternal. It's the eternal water. Yeah, it's eternal water. It's important to read the label on the bottom, or the label on the bottom, the label on the bottle. The label is on the inside of the bottle. It's a 7.7 to 8.0 alkaline water. So what you want to do, you want to look and see if the water was made alkaline in a factory, or if it was made alkaline naturally through nature, through the process of nature, right? When it's manufactured alkaline water, it loses its composition. And just because it's alkaline doesn't mean the water is good, because still could be higher metals. You want to know if the water is filtered and if it's naturally alkaline. So yeah, it's eternal water. The eternal water is naturally alkaline, 7.7 to 8.0 pH. And you want to look at, did they turn this water alkaline, or is it naturally alkaline through nature? So we're talking about negative, because we're talking negative hydrogen ions. So you want your water to be filled with negative hydrogen ions, because you want to shake it, because when you shake your water, it actually creates a form of alkalinity, because the negative hydrogen ions clings to the corners of the bottle. So when you shake it, it becomes alkaline. So you want to have naturally alkaline water, and hopefully it's filtered from metals, or it comes from a source that doesn't have harmful metals. It's not good enough to have alkaline water. You want to have alkaline water that doesn't have harmful metals. So some people are like, hey, this is 8.5, but he has an 8.5, but it's some mercury in there, some arsenic in there, some fluoride in there. And normally if you taste like a metal-like flavor from the water, then you know that it's harmful metals in there. So you can actually become more sensitive to it when you don't drink so many different flavors, because every 10 to 14 days your taste bud change. They grow and they change. They die and they grow, and they grow, they die and they grow. So let me cut some light on real quick. It's getting dark behind me. I'm back, family. I am back. So yeah, every 5 to 7 years, you get a completely new set of taste buds. Your taste buds, that process happens to a lot of the buddies, but to happen to a lot of the body. But every 5 to 7 years, you get new taste buds. I'm talking about the lining on your tongue all the way down to your digestive tract. Right. And then when your taste buds start to die, that's when you start to want extra salt and extra sugar because you have lost your sensitivity to it. So when you say, man, I want to change my diet. So if you stood fast for 10 to 14 days of eating the same new foods, you will have an acquired taste for it. And then the previous foods won't taste that good. But most people don't do 10 to 14 days because in 10 to 14 days, you will get. So really what you want to do, you want to go, you may not know when you're on your last cycle of your 10 to 14 days for your taste buds. So what you want to do is about 21 days, eating something new. That's why most people say like 21-day fast and stuff like that without knowing. In 21 days, you would have transitioned from the last 10 to 14 days, somewhere in between, and you'll be on your new taste buds. And then you'll be acclimating yourself to the new taste. So this is why when people say bad food tastes good and good food tastes bad, it's because of the programming. Because if the food is good for you, then that's how good tastes. If the food is bad for you, then that's how bad tastes. You see, I've reprogrammed myself. I know good food, that's how good tastes. Food is good for you, that's how good tastes. It's a programming. If I know the food is good for me and I know all the reasons why the food is good for me and this is how good tastes. If I know something is bad for me and I eat it, that's how bad it tastes. So now if I understand that program and I line it up with my 10 to 14 days and my taste buds would change. With that understanding and with an addition to eating the same thing for 10 to 14 days, by that time you will realize that your brain will be in conformity with your taste. Because what's going on is that our taste is dictating to us what we're thinking. And that's actually an illusion because this is what we do. This is almost a form of Satanism. Like you said, where good is bad and bad is good. Evil is good. But that's what they trick us into thinking so we can embrace disease. And so that's why I say suicide is delicious because the highest death toll for any race is what they eat, not what someone else do to them. We will die from what we eat before we die from a car crash, police brutality, or any other form of violence. We die from cancer. We die from complications with diabetes, anemia, AIDS. We die from circumstances that are precipitated by what we eat on a day-to-day basis. Because when asked to stop eating something, it'll be the jerk sauce or the curry sauce or the Thai flavor. Or I like my sticky rice. I don't know if I want to get rid of that. It'll be that will lead us to our grave. It'll be the fried chicken and the oil that will lead us to our grave. And when it comes to carbs, our bodies don't need a lot of carbs. We need some carbs, but not a lot because most carbs are acidic. So share this video. Yeah, that's right. I'm dropping straight facts. But yeah, the problem is a lot of people that become vegetarian or vegans, they may not be educated on the diversity of things that they can consume, right? So check this, and the knowledge that needs to be created. So a lot of them, their teeth may be falling out, their skin they get all wrinkly. That's because people think as long as they don't eat meat, that everything else is good. No, that's not true because carrots are not good for us. Broccoli is not technically good for us. So watch this. So the second we start eating good, right? There are such a things of vegetables that are not good for you too. We just think that, because it's a vegetable, it's good. But tell yourself, look at plants. Plants grow up towards the sun. If you ever have a plant in your house, when the sun come out, it'd be more erect. But when the sun go down, it becomes more limp. So does a carrot grow upward or downward? So you got to ask yourself, what kind of plant is that? What kind of plant grows downward as opposed to upward? The sun is up in the sky. So, but it's going downward. That plant is going downward. So if it's going downward in the earth, the only thing good about that carrot is the little green part that's on top. And forget about the carrot being good for your eyes. It's horrible for your eyes. Just like they got the bunny eating the carrot. In real life, have you ever seen a bunny eat a carrot or lay an egg? This is the games that they play. So when we see so when we see, for instance, when people want calories when they go on the different diets and everything, right? The coconut itself has 13 to 1400 calories just in the skin alone, in the meat alone. So that's one of my main sources of energy, because you're not going to find much that'll give you, without eating a whole lot of food, you're not going to find much, and it being water soluble and easy to digest on every level, and it'll give you about 400 calories, 1400 calories when you eat the meat. And then when you drink the water, it becomes your natural Gatorade. You're going to get your potassium, you're going to get your zinc, you're going to get your magnesium. So you can drink the water from the coconut and eat the skin and be damn near fulfilled for the whole day. That's the power in the coconut water, And then the kale, apple, ginger, with the apple, you get the malic acid that's for my skin. So my omega-3 from the avocado, what helps my brain from the avocado, especially in the morning. If you eat the avocado in the morning, it helps builds brain cells. It's a superconductor as well. Well, it maintains the superconductivity of the brain, because your body is electric. And then you get the fatty acids from the avocado. And the fat that you get from the avocado is safe fat, because avocado is accompanied with fiber. So that the fat that I don't need, the fiber gets rid of. The fat that I do need, my body absorbs it. So the avocado is filled with all these beautiful fats. So in essence, the fiber in the avocado is going to diminish the extra fat that I don't need, right? And then I take the ginger shot. You see me with the ginger shots, because ginger diminishes appetite. So if you don't want to be eating a whole bunch, or if you are nauseous, ginger will get rid of that. So if you get like car sickness, anytime you feel like throwing up, take your shot of ginger, and it'll get rid of all that. And when people drink those weird drinks because they're trying to avoid a hangover, you can just take your ginger shot. And then weird drinks, you got to take in all those poisons. The ginger shots will make sure that you don't have a hangover. But nobody wants to do anything healthy in the middle of doing something so toxic. I understand. But if you were going to drink, I don't care if it's a little bit of drinking, drink one before and drink one after, and you won't have no hangovers. You feel what I'm saying? So you don't have to worry about being dizzy and going crazy, or waking up with your stomach hurting and your head hurting, and you kind of like slow and drowsy and groggy throughout the day. Ginger, that's what ginger does. It promotes blood circulation, gets rid of your nausea, and it diminishes your appetite. So if you were to hit like 2 ginger shots back to back, and you drink some coconut water, your appetite would diminish. And so that's why it's good to eat the kale, avocado, ginger shots, and coconut water. And I only been vegan going on 3 years. So, but you got people out here that's actually sick, eating the meat, actually sick. I mean, like sick from the doctor, sick, putting out information about using meat to get the protein. But they don't mention the insulin-like growth factor 1 that comes with meat, that promotes diabetes, that promotes cancer. They don't talk about the sulfur-containing amino acids that you get from the meat, using meat as a source of protein, and which the sulfur-containing amino acids get broken down into your body, making your body more acidic and being a playground for diseases. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you about the fact that you take in heme iron from the meat, and that causes and promotes strokes. But they tell you they're sick themselves, telling you to get your protein, get your iron from meat. They say, well, where are you getting your vitamins from, right? They don't tell you that vitality, our man, sun god in Egypt, that every time the sun hits your skin, that your body is producing vitamins on its own. They don't tell you that though. But go get your source of protein from animal meat, right? They don't tell you that the plant protein has the 9 essential amino acids that our body needs. They don't tell you that you get the iron fluorine, which a lot of us is running around here with sickle cell anemia and needs iron, especially our women, ladies, be taking the iron pills, and you can get the iron fluorine from the See, from the dark leafy green vegetables. And when you hear vitamins, you get these alphanumerics like B12, right? You hear the letter B and you hear the number 12. You don't connect that with something that's alive. B12 is an organism that's birthed in the small intestines when you get sun exposure. But it's called cobalamin. There go the word amen again, sun god Egypt. It's called cobalamin. That's what B12 is an organism that's birthed in the small intestine. It's considered a trace mineral because you only really get it from the sun. So if you knew it was an organism, then you got to look at these vitamin pills like they're suspect, because you got to be like, what's the pill if it's an organism? Because you know the pill isn't alive. So how can this pill at best fabricate the existence of a living entity whose job is to detoxify the melanin throughout the inside of your body? So you don't because your kidneys need a certain amount of melanin, your stomach needs a certain amount of melanin, and your liver needs a certain amount of melanin. All of your organs need a certain amount of melanin to be activated. So what's happening is your brain is on B12 saying letters and numbers, and it's a disconnect with knowing that vitamins are organisms that's created for the better good for you during the subject of sunlight during different hours of the day. It's called the circadian rhythm. So at different hours, when subject to the sun, different vitamins are produced, different hours. And by the time the day is up, you get the full spectrum. That's why the big part of diet should be, okay, Mondays, I'm going to get sun from 9 a.m. to 10. On Tuesdays, I'm going to get from 10 to 12. On Wednesdays, I'm going to get it from 12 to 3. Making sure you get the full sun spectrum at least throughout the week. Because when you're vitamin deficient, when you're vitamin D deficient, it promotes pain, stress, and depression in acute forms, suicide. So we know 90% of Americans are vitamin D deficient. And you know, in Seattle, they get the least amount of sun. So you see the most amount of of suicide and anxiety-related disorders in Seattle. They get the less amount of sunlight. Go figure. All right. So share this video. Share this video. I ain't seen nobody jump in the chat yet. You talk, I get all that talk when we face to face, but when I'm calling you out to the platform to promote your point of view, you get ghost. So that's what I'm talking about. That's how you know who be blowing hot air all the time. Because when you're having a debate about plant protein and animal protein, animal iron versus plant iron, and they don't know heme iron from iron fluorine, and they don't know what's associated, what's associated with the plant protein. Yeah, you get your protein from it, but it's also compromised by the IGF-1, the sulfur-containing amino acids. If they don't even know that, they can hang it up. They can hang it up. So I want to do Q&A, but where you at? So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I got a message on my phone. Let me check this real quick. Hold on real quick. I apologize. But don't go no. I'm gonna drop this now. I'm still dropping this knowledge. You can look up everything I'm saying. Look up elevated levels of IGF-1 in your body. Look up some sulfur-containing amino acids that causes your body to have to leak, that causes your body to become acidic. And then your body has to perform a process called leaching, where it leaches the calcium away from your bones to buffer the acidity. You can look all this up. I commission you to look all this up and tell me what you get. So when you get the you drinking the milk and everything, that's what's happening. And when I first started bumping into this information, I just kept bumping into this information I wasn't looking for. It just kept coming to me. So I felt like the universe trying to do something to me, so I better embrace it. The universe isn't telling me something, so stop fighting it. I kept ignoring it because I wanted to keep eating my chicken and everything, but the information just kept coming in front of me. I had to embrace it and become enlightened by it. So yeah, that's how this whole journey got going. So, and ever since then, I hadn't looked back. Everything started falling into place. I was severely overweight, a borderline this, borderline that. But yeah. And another thing going on, sometimes we can eat and get the nutrients, but then our body doesn't want to absorb all the nutrients. So that's why it's important to know that when we take in a lot of animal protein, when you get older, your body, when you start taking when you stop taking the animal protein, start taking the plant protein, your body is like, I'm not used to this. So your body doesn't absorb as much of it, right on, at first. But then your body has to realize that it's making a change, and then it'll start absorbing more of the nutrients that you get, But yeah, like I said, man, cryptocurrency consultations, mentorship programs, KLEWIS198724@gmail.com. I said deep in the game, real deep in the game. So I can teach you how to get your health on. I can teach you how to take a part in this whole banking and financial paradigm shift that we're witnessing with cryptocurrency. I mean, like I said, wealth is health, man. You gotta get your health, and you go get your wealth. Get your wealth. Wealth is health. Get your wealth. You can obtain your health. You lose your health. Everything else goes out the window. And what trips me out? Oh, I gotta drop this one. What trips me out? My people say my grandfather ate pig all this time, and he died at 98. And somebody else ate vegetables all this time and died at 72. So, and people be like, you're gonna die anyway, so you go ahead and eat what you want. So I say, you're gonna spend money anyway, right? So why save it? I hit them with that. So what I'm talking about, it's not quality, it's not quantity. What I'm talking about is quality. So when they talking about somebody that eats bad and lives to 90 years old, I'm talking about the quality of life and not the quantity. That could be determined by many variables. You can already have a genetic predisposition towards already the type of life that's stimulated by environmental circumstances, and so what happens? It's not about the amount of years, because we don't know that to be a fact. If you're eating meat versus plants, that the meat is making you live that long. You would like to believe that because you want to keep eating meat. But what can I say is, if a boxer's getting ready to fight, they get a certain regimen so they can perform at an optimal level. I don't know what spirituality means to other people. Spirituality means a lot to me. Being clairvoyant, being able to meditate and be able to sit still for a long period of time and being comfortable in a situation and being able to breathe. So as a spiritualist, this is the most conducive form of food. I also deem myself as a teacher, and I have to rely on my memory. So this is the most conducive form of food. So just like a boxer eats a certain type of way so he can perform a certain type of way, as human beings, we should eat a certain type of way so we can perform a certain type of way. When I started eating all these vegetables and kale juice, it's hard to find a violent bone in my body. It's hard for me to get angry. That's the type of person that I want to be, because eating that way is a violent process. So if it's violent to break down the food, just like you're violent with your emotions and your anger towards the world. So it's the type of person that this eating has transformed me into. It's not just, I want to live long. No, that's good. You want to live good. If you want to live long, I think you still should eat this way. I'm talking about my performance as a human being. My performance as a human being, as far as memory is concerned, as far as spirituality, intuition, clairvoyance, psychometry, as far as being loving and more connected, being sensitive, having more empathy. Eating like this produces more empathy hormones. Empathy hormones are like when you watch a movie and when you see somebody get hurt, you go like, oh man, you kind of feel it by just watching it, right? So when you have more empathy for other people, you feel there are people just considering what they may go through. More empathy hormones are created when we eat like this versus eating meat, means that you becomes more sensitive towards how people respond to adversity and what you want to do to them in a certain way. And you can actually feel the relation to a certain extent, just considering what they may have to go through, and it makes you more caring and embrace it and more and want to empower them. You'll put your emotions of yourself to the side. That's what empathy hormones do. So we're talking about a quality of person, not the quality of person, not the quantity of person. You know what I'm saying? It's not just that. It's like, yeah, this person can eat meat and all that, but at the end of the day, can they still be athletic at a certain age? You know, don't you want to still be able to move around and be there for your children and for your grandchildren and your nieces? Or you want them coming to you at your bed? Like I would rather die at 75 in good health than to die with my life being prolonged into 99 with back pains and surgeries and changing my gallbladder. And they took my gallbladder out. Now I need a new hip. I don't want to be living like that. You know what I'm saying? So even the hospital, they don't prolong life. They just prolong death. We like, look, we're going to keep you alive, but you're just not going to have fun. Don't think about skiing. Don't think about doing too much traveling. So, and you know, and this is what I was taught. If the human body was meant to be open, you would have been born with a zipper. If God would have put a zipper on you, so that way the doctors can go inside of you. Oh man, share this video. I'm telling you. I mean, I'm just saying. Like I said, you can look all this up. You can look all this up. I'm finna get ready to close this. I'm finna get ready to log out. Remember, let me hit the chat up. Let me hit the chat up. Oh, my bad. I know y'all just got a real good live experience. Make sure you share the video, because there's a lot of misconceptions and different discrepancies about animal protein versus plant protein. So I'm about to get up out of here. So yeah, like I said, hype up the chat. But yeah, I'm finna get out of here though. It's been good. Remember, like and subscribe. Email me if you're interested in a consultation and mentorship programs, KLEWIS198724@gmail.com. Like and subscribe. This is the platform of crypto and travel. I just had to take a break from that today because I had to address this in the community. So like and subscribe. Hit me up for mentorship consultations. Mentorships and consultations. My email will be listed in the description. I'd like to thank you all so much for tuning in and listening. And I had to just drop this on the community. I had to put this out. You know, you can hit me up, KLEWIS198724. You know, consulting, cryptocurrency. It's the courses, mentorship. So I'm out. Hit me up, like and subscribe. Peace.